Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Wellness for All podcast. My name is Laleh Hancock, and I have the great pleasure of being your host every single week, bringing in conversations, tools, resources to bringing more wellness and well-being in all aspects of our lives, whether it's relationships, it's finances, business, our bodies and mental health, whether it's having more communion with our magical earth or bringing more awareness and consciousness in everything that we're choosing. So thank you so much for being here. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Wellness for All podcast. My name is Laleh Hancock, and I am going to be your host today. And I am so excited about this conversation I'm going to have. So first, let me introduce one of my dear friends, Paul Kearney. Hello, Paul. Welcome.
Hey, Laleh, how are we doing?
We're doing amazing.
Awesome.
The reason I asked Paul to actually come on the show is that, one, I've known you for a very long time. Oh, hello. And I love what you have been creating in the world. And also, one of the latest projects that you're on is called Access Bars in Business. And, I can't wait to tell the world about this Access Bars in Business, because everyone in life needs to know about this. But we both know there's amazing benefits from this tool called Access Bars. But before we go that far, maybe just a couple minutes. Hey, Paul, can you give them just a little bit about your background so they know a little bit more about the Paul Kearney?
Yeah, sure. Laleh, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, great to be here. So my name is Paul Kearney. I'm European Director with Access Consciousness, and I've worked with Access for around 5 or 6 years at this stage, and it's just growing dynamically. So how does it get any better than that? Before that, I did international sales and international project management with a lot of big companies around the world. So Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and it was yeah, it was lots of travel, it was lots of involvement, with projects, and it kind of prepared me for what I'm doing now. And it was working with corporations and looking at what corporations require, and corporations are made up of people. So one of the things that we've noticed is that the stress levels with people all around the world is very high, and companies are reaching out to us saying, hey guys, what solutions have you got? Hey guys, what possibilities have you got? So we started the Bars in Business team around 6 months ago, and now it's all over the world. And it's exciting. It's just getting started, but it's starting to bubble. So how does it get any better than that?
Well, thank you for that. And I know that this is airing a bunch of different places, and not everyone knows. I don't know why they don't know, but some people may not know what the heck are the Access Bars. So can you give just a quick little overview about that?
I sure can. And if they go to Access Consciousness /bars, so BARS.com, it has lots of information as well. But the bars are 32 points in the head, and literally they're bars through the head. So it's like when gently held allows the mind and the body to relax. And it's places where we have points of view. It could be around creativity, could be around sadness, could be around joy, could be around money. And it's like, it just dissipates the charge. It allows you to have more of you and have more space in your world. And they say every time you get your bars run, it removes 500 years of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So it's that powerful, and like it's pretty incredible when you think about it. I'm in London at present, and we were just doing a gifting and receiving session yesterday with people, and the whole concept of Access Bars is it's different to the give and take of this reality, where people look to get something in relation to something else. And it's more like nature, where it's like a gifting and receiving. And it's that sense of space, that sense of joy, that sense of happiness. And that's what it creates. And it's like we're looking to bring that out into organizations, into the world, but it's growing dynamically. So how does it get any better than that?
Yeah. And actually, how I found the bars is that a friend called me and said, hey, for your birthday, can I come over and gift you something? And I was so stressed back then. Now I have more tools to know that not all of it was my stress, but
Yeah.
there was a lot going on in my life. Great things, like, okay, my kids were doing really well with their school and their athlete programs. My businesses were growing. We just sold the house in one day. We bought a house, and all those things that you would learn in this reality. They're the stress points, right? They're the stress points. The most stressful things in the world are you selling a house and buying a house. It's kind of funny now looking at it 10 years later.
Yeah.
And so for her, I didn't even know what she was saying. She was like, "Can I come over and gift you something?" I was like, "Yes." She's like trying to explain. I'm like, "Don't try to explain, just come." Like, no need to tell me more. When she said it, there was just something about it. I immediately got really happy. And most people know I'm a really happy, jolly person, even if, the world's coming to an end, it's always like, from this reality, I'd say like more of the positive perspective of things. But it just seemed like the world was on my shoulders at the time. And when she showed up, she brought a massage table, she put me on it, and she had this cute little chart, like a little cheat sheet of these 32 points. And as soon as she put her hand on my head, like, the back of my head and my third eye, it wasn't even 2 seconds. Maybe it was. Time didn't matter at that moment. But immediately I had a level of relaxation in my body that I don't know that I'd ever experienced before. And, we're all going to experience our first time or any time we get our bars run differently. Each of us is different, and each moment you do it is different. But that moment, all I could think about was, oh my God, what is this? And I have to tell the whole world about it. The whole world needed to know that this thing, whatever this thing was, it's available, and I couldn't shut up. That whole session, I was so happy. And I was just like, "Can you tell me more? What is it? Like, can I tell everyone? Is this for kids?" Like, there was just a level of enthusiasm in my world that I just didn't have words for. But yet I knew there was something that had unlocked in my world that also needed to be out there. So I'm curious, what was your first time with the bars? How was it for you?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people experience, is just that sense of like deep relaxation and just like more space in their world is what a lot of people describe it as. So one of my friends, Rachel O'Brien, so I was teaching Tai Chi and yoga and meditation, and one of my friends, her daughter wanted to learn meditation. I was like, cool. I said, well, what do you know? We can do a swap. And she was like, well, I know this thing called access consciousness bars. And I remember the first time I did it, and it was just like, it was like somebody had like flicked on new switches in my brain. It was just like started thinking differently, new spaces started opening up, things I'd never considered. And I was kind of like, wow, this is pretty cool stuff. And then it's probably a couple of months later, I did my next session. And then after that, I was just like, wow, this is amazing stuff. And just went bum, 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 bum. But yeah, just more relaxation, more space, more joy, more of me. And it was, yeah, it was quite magical, if I'm honest. Yeah, quite magical.
Yeah. And I know like everyone experiences it differently. Like for me, the monkey mind went away, like that constant blah, 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 blah. I could talk, but it was from a very different space of relaxation and creativity. And I realized afterwards how much my creativity just expanded. Like I was exploring things from such a different place and space. And that was almost 11 years ago. And
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
because before that, I was always curious. So I was learning new things all the time, but it was like for a moment, for a couple months, maybe a year, maybe one book. I read a few chapters. Like nothing would get me to like, hey, this thing, stay with it. Bars was the only thing that started the opening of that door of like, hey, I'd like to add more of this into my life. It's not just for a temporary moment.
Yeah.
Um, and it was really, really interesting. Like the last 10 years, I would say, each session is different. you know, whether, like you said, this gifting and receiving system where it's like, it's not just like you're doing it to someone, you're also gifting and receiving energy, that relaxation, just being you doing it. So tell us more, like this bars and business. I know that, I know personally for me, I've taken it into the military and elsewhere. So it's not like it's brand new. We're in 179 countries now where
Yeah.
people are running bars. So what makes it so different now for this program that you guys have launched with the businesses?
There's a there's an interconnectedness with everything in nature and in the world, and like everything is interconnected. And sometimes it's a timing, and it's like what we noticed was companies were coming to us asking us, and I've been doing work with an accountancy firm in Dublin in Ireland, and it had been progressing very well, and I was quite busy, had a lot of projects on, and this lady was saying, "Hey Paul, we have to get you in," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not really sure I have the time." And then she kind of she took me into a side room, and she's kind of like an imposing lady, and she was like, "No, we have to get you in. We've learned during COVID, if we don't look after ourselves, we can't look after our clients." And it's like that realization has been there, I think, for companies, and also it's opened up a space where the staff are more valuable than ever, and they realize that they have to look after staff. And it's like, okay, what way can we empower people that really has a meaningful effect, and that it's not just lip service, it's not just HR saying, "Oh, we really value it." It's like, okay, how can we actually empower these people? What can we do to bring more relaxation? The more relaxed you are, the more you can receive. So we've been working with a social media company, and they were like the creme de la creme. It was the top of the top. And we did a session between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and then they went back to work from 4 o'clock till 5:30. And the managing director rang me next day, and she's like, "That was amazing." She said, "We got more done in that hour and a half than we usually do in 2 days." She said, "Everyone was so relaxed. They were all like, wow, this is cool. Hey, how about this? How about this?" And like all these things that used to be issues before weren't there. And it's like, that's the beauty of it. It's like when you relax into anything, or you come back from holidays, you're extremely relaxed and you get loads of stuff done, because the blockages aren't there. A lot of the time, the blockages, we create them ourselves in our mind. And as we allow ourselves to relax into the flow of nature and into the flow of the universe, everything starts to open up and everything starts to change.
Yeah. So I'm curious, with your businesses, what have you seen the difference in your own businesses?
Um, just way more ease. Like one of the things we talk about in access consciousness, which is quite revolutionary, is no form, no structure, no significance. So it's not making things significant, because if you make something significant, then you can't change it. And like no form, no structure, it brings a flexibility there that you can move, you can change, you can shift. It's very dynamic. And like access consciousness has a very, I would say, a horizontal style of management, in terms of like everybody just works together, contributes, and it's okay, what can I contribute here, what can I gift here, and opening up different spaces. And it's like, what's truly possible, and just a sense of ease, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness. And it's just like, okay, yeah, this is easy. Okay, awesome. What can I create here? And it's like letting go of the control, where things have to be controlled. So it has to look like a cookie cutter type of business. It's like allowing things to show up in the most dynamic, strange, unusual ways ever. And anything that happens, one of the questions we always ask, what's right about this I'm not getting?
You know what was interesting is, after I got my first bar session on my birthday, that Monday morning after was the first time ever I woke up Monday morning not feeling stressed. Like, you know,
Wow,
like
cool.
that
Yeah,
moment of like
yeah,
everybody, like people are going to school, people are
yeah,
going to work, and no one, and like how much we pick up everyone
yeah.
else's stuff. But I noticed that Monday morning, I woke up and I was like relaxed, and I didn't have to even worry about the emails that were in my inbox, which I used to get like 5 or 600, you know, overnight.
Mm,
And I was like, wow, I have a level of relaxation. Like it would normally take me about an hour in the morning to like get myself, you know,
mm.
ready for the day, you know, like my
Yeah.
mental ready. And I was ready the minute I got out of bed. I was like, what just changed? Like something's different. but it was like as easy as that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes we're looking for this huge change. Well, yeah, that's a huge change, waking up on a Monday morning not feeling like, oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I wonder like what else is really possible when we are adding more creativity into the work instead of the challenges as well. Because that's the other thing that I've noticed. I'm not sure what you've noticed, like with all the different clients that you're working with, but a lot of times as a consultant, they brought me in because there were conflicts. You know, it was divisions or departments could work well together that were creating some challenges in the business. And I found that wherever I brought this tool and other tools in the consulting, there was more of oneness. You know, it was less about finger pointing and complaints to more of like, hey guys, it's just not working, how can we work together to make it better?
Yeah. And also, what do we need to change? Because a lot of the times in organizations, we try and avoid change. What if we actually run towards change and embrace it and say, what can I change now? And like the more that we're willing to look from the undefined space of no form, no structure, no significance, everything is changeable, everything is tangible. And it's like people could say it's a scary place to be, but it's an extremely exciting place to be, because that's where the change happens. Everything becomes possible from that space of being willing to be undefined and say, okay, what can we create now? And it takes skill to bring it into an organization, but the management of people takes skill. That's just the nature of it. It involves leadership, it involves skills, and it's also getting people working together to say, okay, what can we create here together?
Definitely. So what's the first step? How do people get a hold of you and the bars and business team and be able to, learn more?
Yeah, totally. So bars in business, so BARS in business.com. We have a brand new website. It's only up 2 weeks, so how does it get any better than that? And yeah, just email us, just get in contact. There's information on it. And then for me, I am paulkearney.com, and so KEARNEY.com, and lots of information. I facilitate lots of classes. And another thing that I'd like to talk about, Laleh, just to touch on, is the joy of business. It's founded by Simone Molasses maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It's an absolutely brilliant program of tools and techniques used for business, and it creates so much change. It's very dynamic, very magical, and also so pragmatic, and it's growing all around the world. And it's exciting. Yeah, at the end of this month I'm in Holland doing a class, then I'm back in Ireland doing a class, and it's like there's lots of spaces starting to open up for what's truly possible.
Yeah, I love it. I love joy
Yep.
business.
Yeah.
So with that as well, one thing I wanted to share is that you also have a page on LinkedIn as well, if people are interested,
Yeah.
also on LinkedIn to learn more about bars and business. And, it doesn't matter what country you're in, chances are that we're able to provide you services and information to how to bring these incredible tools into your organization.
Yeah, and it's like it's not a one size fits all. Like, we're very happy to sit down with organizations, see what their targets are, what they want to achieve. Every company is different, the same as every individual is different, and we tailor make the programs. And it's like it just depends if it's a fit. If it's a fit, awesome, let's create. If it's not, on to the next. And it's like what's truly possible.
Yeah. And all that information is also going to be in the show notes below so that you guys will have Paul's website, the bars and business links on LinkedIn and the website as well. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Access Consciousness and the bars. I'm not even sure where my life would be if I had not found this incredible, incredible tool on my birthday 10 years ago. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks so much, Laleh. That was beautiful.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, whether you were listening or watching live or on a replay. We are so grateful for you. We want to hear from you. What would you like to hear about? What are topics that get you excited and you would like to know more about? You can message us on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or even sending us a message at globalwellnessforall.com/contact. And also, would you be willing to assist us? Would you be willing to contribute spreading these seeds of wellness and well-being to others? And as always, we are so happy you're here and what is truly possible with our amazing planet the minute we're willing to have more wellness and well-being. See you next time.